Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily US stock market review for the trading day ending April 16th. Well, today we've seen the Nasdaq 100 close up 45 points, up 1.3% to close at 35.33, and the S&P 500 up 19 points, plus 1.05% to close at 1862. This was the third consecutive day of gains, and the market overall is looking quite strong. Today we had the release of some Chinese first quarter GDP figures, and really not very eventful. Year-on-year figures were 7.4%, just 0.1% over the estimate of 7.3%, but the quarter-on-quarter figures were 0.1% under the 1.5% expectation, so not anything of great event. Expectations were pretty much almost met. So moving firstly here to the S&P 500, and here we see a very large white body candle. The buyers strongly in control for the entire day. The market gapped up at the open, forming a window, and that's with this highlighted by this blue zone, and that will be very, very important support if the market does come off. And we can see a couple of other windows in the past at the beginning of this year that haven't been tested, and these windows can be very, very important areas that the market interacts with. Now, with the buyers closing with control and being strongly committed, we've seen the market turn into a bullish market in all three timeframes. Looking across at the Chico's band, however, that's still under the corresponding price action, so it's suggesting that there is a small amount of negative momentum at the moment, a hangover from this sell-off, and if we do see this market continue to appreciate, we should see the Chico's band then confirm the bullishness that we're seeing in all three timeframes. We did take out the important 1858 level of resistance for today's trading in a bullish manner, and take out the Tenkan-sen in a very bullish manner, suggesting that we could see some solid follow-through. If the market is strong enough, we should see the 1867 level tested and perhaps taken out, and possible test up to the 1883 level. Now, the market has been up quite solidly for the past three trading days, so there is potential for the market to have a bit of a rest. So if that does occur, then we should be looking to the area around 1850 to act as support, or the area at the Tenkan-sen trading at 1855. In terms of the Fibonacci Extension, and here we've seen the market trade in a very bullish manner through the 100% level. Our next target here is the 161.8% level at 1871. And moving to the Fibonacci Retracement, we've seen the market trading up through the 61.8% and the 78.6% level in a bullish manner, suggesting that there is a very good likelihood of the market trading through to the 100% level at 1872. In terms of the Nasdaq 100, and here we've seen another fairly strongly bullish candle, the market closing up towards the highs, suggesting that there was the buyers have closed with control, and they did show some strong commitment after the market sold off and found support down below the 3500 level. Previous level of support, then resistance, and now support for today's trading, with the sellers losing commitment down below that area. A very good test coming up for the market here for the next trading day. If the buyers are able to continue rallying this market, they will interact with the area around the 35.43 previous level of support and resistance, an important one that has been tested on two occasions in the recent past. And also we have the Tenkan-sen trading in that area, so a very solid area potentially of resistance, so it will be important to see how the market reacts. If we see strong early bullish activity up above there, we could quickly see the market testing to around the Kijun-sen at 35.67, or to the top of the cloud at 35.78. But I suggest that if we do trade through that Tenkan-sen and the 35.43 level, then we should see some selling coming in up around these higher levels. In terms of the Fibonacci Extension, and here today we've seen the market trading in a fairly bullish manner up above the 100% level, suggesting that we could see some follow through. The 161.8% target is up at 3602, and it's above that important area of resistance above the cloud. It's within the actual Ichimoku cloud, and certainly won't have any effect on the market in the near future. In terms of the Fibonacci retracement, just closing above the 61.8% level, suggesting a possibility of the market trading higher. We have the 78.6% level at 35.62, and that's very close to the area that the Kijun-sen is trading at, and therefore suggesting that if we do see sellers coming in around this region, there is then a possibility for the market to change trend back to the downside, but of course we would need confirmation of that. Now, in terms of the sectors, and here we've seen strength across the board throughout all of the sectors. The strongest sector today was the industrial sector, up 1.56%. We also saw solid gains in the consumer cyclicals, and the laggards here were the real estate sector, up 0.77%, and the utility sector, up 0.75%, although these sectors were still very, very strong. And here we have the industrial sector. We've seen good solid bullish activity after the market found support around the bottom or just below the Ichimoku cloud, closing up above both the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen, and suggesting that there is a good possibility of seeing some follow through. Looking across at the Chikou span, however, that's failing to confirm the bullish activity in all three timeframes, so a little bit of doubt about whether we will see continued bullish activity. Looking at the relative strength here, still underperforming the market overall, however, and it's been some time since we've seen this sector outperforming the market, so really not the ideal market for us to be looking at in this short-term time frame. In terms of the weekly time frame in the industrial sector, and here we saw the market sell off through the Tenkan-sen the previous week, but for this week's trading, finding support at the Kijun-sen indicator, so that will be very, very important support for this market moving forward. Looking here at the relative strength, we haven't seen this market outperforming, so really not the ideal market to be trading in at the moment. It is holding its own, certainly not underperforming the market, but if we look here at volatility, we are perhaps reaching a cyclical low in volatility around this area, and there is an opportunity for the buyers to come back into this market here. The consumer cyclicals market was the next market that made solid gains, and here we've seen the buyers close with very strong control, change the trend to the upside following a doji type candle and a small hammer type of pattern following a very strong sell-off and a breakdown below the Ichimoku cloud. Not good potential for this market to continue this trend to the upside, potentially strong resistance at the bottom of the cloud, and just above there within the cloud we have the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen. So this market is bearish in all three timeframes, and that is confirmed by the Chikou span being below the corresponding price action, and the Chikou span is suggesting that there is very solid downside momentum in this market. If we look at the relative strength, this market has been solidly underperforming the S&P 500 for some time, and even though we have had this rally, it's likely to be just a very brief rally and potentially find resistance at the top of the the bottom of the cloud, and then to see the sellers come back in. One thing that may save the market here is that we have seen volatility tick over, so we may not see any decent follow through, and we could see some congestion around this area rather than a sell-off. In terms of the weekly charts, and for the previous week's trading, we saw the solid bearish close down below both the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen, giving us a bearish market in the medium and fast term timeframes, and that highlighted a very strong change of sentiment in this market. It has been some time since we've seen the consumer cyclical sector trading down below both of those indicators. In the longer term timeframe, however, still up, so we're trading above the Ichimoku cloud, and that bullishness is confirmed with the Chikou span still trading above the corresponding price action. But if this market trades lower, there's a possibility of the Chikou span moving below that price action, suggesting lower levels. But the relative strength here is telling a story here since the highs that we saw in early March, that the market has been underperforming the S&P 500, so really not the ideal sector to be looking at for stocks to trade. It's well to the long side, to the short side perhaps, but in line with the overall S&P 500 being up, we should be looking for long trades here. In terms of volatility, the market has been coming off, and volatility is pretty much at a cyclical low. So we will be looking to volatility to tick up perhaps, and if we do see the this sector sell off, then that could see volatility tick up and support a downtrend or a possible downtrend. At the moment, with this weekly candle, we are seeing the market continue the lower high and lower low that was established for the previous week. Moving across to the real estate sector, and here we see solid bullishness following the Harami type pattern, and the market finding support roughly around the Kijun-sen. A bullish breakout above both of those indicators and good follow through, and the market trading just above the resistance from the peak from a few trading periods ago. So bullish in all three timeframes, and confirmed by the Chica span. Outperforming the overall market, trading up above that upper Bollinger Band in terms of relative strength, and we see volatility ticking up just from a cyclical low. So no strong price trending action here, but there is a possibility of this volatility ticking up if we see some good solid follow through over the next few days. In terms of support, the Tenkan-sen here may provide solid support if the market does come off. And in terms of the weekly chart, here we've seen this latest candle developing as a very solid bullish candle, just trading above some recent resistance and testing to this swing high. So that will be a crucial area if we are going to see the market continue trending up. In terms of relative strength, just outperforming the market, trading just above that upper Bollinger Band on the relative strength indicator, and suggesting that there is a possibility of this market trading higher, but we want to see the buyers continue in this market. Bullish in all three time frames. The Chica span is confirming the bullishness that we've seen in this sector over a period of time. And then moving to the utility sector on the daily chart, a good solid bullishness, three large white body candles with the buyers in control, trading above the Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen and the Ichimoku cloud, confirmed by the Chica span. And the Tenkan-sen and the Kijun-sen are both pointing up very sharply, reflecting the very solid upside momentum we've seen in this market, and looking at the relative strength strongly outperforming since around the 24th of March and continuing that outperformance at the moment. Volatility is having a second go and trading up above that upper Bollinger Band, suggesting that we could see the market trade to higher levels. We're getting near a cyclical high though, so that is something to watch in this short-term time frame. The Chica span is a fair way above corresponding price action. Price action is a fair way above the Ichimoku cloud, so the market is beginning to look a little overextended. There may be more left in this market on the daily charts, but eventually we are going to see this market overextended and maybe looking for something of a pullback. If we do see that pullback soon, the Tenkan-sen is the first place that we should be looking for some solid support, and that's just around that 305 level. And a similar picture here on the weekly charts, with the market trading well above all of the Ichimoku indicators, confirmed by the Chica span, looking a little overextended, strongly outperforming in the recent past here for the past 3 or 4 trading weeks. We've seen the cyclical low in volatility. Volatility continues up in line with this strong trending action. Little way to go before we see a cyclical high in volatility perhaps. If we look at this area here, we could find some resistance in volatility fairly soon. So we do need to be careful, and with the market looking a little overextended, we could see the buyers take a little bit of a rest, perhaps some profit taking in the utility sector, but we should see support around the Tenkan-sen initially, and that corresponds roughly with the swing high here in May. A stock that we're going to look at here in the industrial sector is Avis Budget Group. The code is CAR, C-A-R. appropriate code. And here we've seen the buyers coming into the market today, giving us a bullish market in all three time frames, trading above the cloud, above the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen, supported by the Chikou span. And looking at relative strength, the market has been outperforming the stock has been outperforming the general market over the past couple of weeks or so, and trading up above that Bollinger Band indicator. Volatility is beginning to tick up again, so one to watch. Some close by resistance for the stock at the moment, but if we do see a bullish breakout, we could see some decent follow through. And the weekly chart is confirming this bullishness in all three time frames, looking a little overextended in the depth of the Chikou span away from the corresponding price action. Has been outperforming the overall market for quite some time, since late last year. Something of a volatility peak around here. We did see strong volatility coming in around the end of last year, and certainly we could see volatility come off, so potential for consolidation. So perhaps if we don't see that breakout up above the previous peak on the daily charts, then we might see some consolidation in the market trade down and perhaps find some support at the Tenkan-sen around the 45.80 level. In the consumer cyclical sector here, we're taking a look at Amazon.com, AMZN is the code, and we have seen a bearish market for some time since late March. A solid bearish breakout down below the Ichimoku cloud and below the Kijun-sen indicator, giving us a bearish signal with Ichimoku. That was around the 361 level, with the market now trading around 323 at the moment. The market has been trading down below each of the three Ichimoku indicators for most of that time. The Chikou span is confirming that negativity and looking at relative strength, strongly underperforming the market since that breakout. So certainly a good stock to have gone short in. We did see volatility kick up through that time, and now we've seen a cyclical low in volatility, so we're seeing some congestion and the market attempting to retrace this sell-off with a bullish close above the Tenkan-sen indicator. The buyers are in control for this current candle, as they were for the previous candle, and it does suggest there is a possibility of this market continuing to trend up. So for the shorts around this level, it could be a good time to take some profits if you were trading from these very short-term charts. In terms of weekly, however, we have still a bullish market in that long-term time frame, but very importantly for this week's trading, we've seen the market testing roughly to around the top of the cloud, and we've seen sellers rejected from around that area, with the buyers attempting to take control. So that may be quite significant for this market. If the buyers close up around these highs, then that would suggest that there has been something of a change of sentiment in this market, where we've seen previously for the past 4 weeks 4 consecutive black body candles with the sellers closing with control. So there could be a potential change of trend. At the moment, no change of trend. This trend is still down. But in the medium and fast term timeframes, this market is negative by trading below the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen. Looking across at the Chikou span, that's within the corresponding price action, so now failing to confirm the bullishness that we've seen in this long-term time frame by maintaining price action above the cloud. Moving to the relative strength, and underperforming the market for some time by trading down below that Ichimoku indicator, and we have seen volatility coming off and then starting to tick up as we approached the top of the Ichimoku cloud. Stock to look at here in the real estate sector is Camden Property Trust, CPT, and we have had this market trading above the Ichimoku cloud for some time. Broke out above there with a bullish signal in February earlier this year. That was around the $63 level, trading at 68 at the moment, and pretty much maintaining price action above the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen, and in the recent past here holding the Kijun-sen as support over the within this past week or so. The market has attempted to rally through the Tenkan-sen successfully with the buyers in control. small body candle, and there is some solid resistance coming up for this market at 68.69. Relative strength is ticking up above the upper Bollinger Band, but we do have volatility at a fairly low level, and we will be expecting to see volatility tick up. And if we do see that breakout up above the cyclical high around this 68.93 level, that may be the impetus that we need to see this market trend up and trend up significantly. In terms of the weekly chart, however, we've seen the market interacting with the top of the Ichimoku cloud and testing 2 there on 3 of the past 4 consecutive trading weeks. And for this week's trading, as we're trading at the moment, we've seen a slight bullish breakout up above that cloud. Now, if we do end up closing up above there in a bullish manner, that is probably a good sign, but with the Ichimoku cloud being flat, sometimes we can have false breakouts up above the flat Ichimoku cloud. So what we'd like to see is some follow through after a bullish breakout if the market does continue with this bullishness in the next few trading days, and that would be a good indication that buyers are firmly in control. Now, looking at the outperformance, not strongly outperforming the market, but the relative strength has been trading above that upper Bollinger Band and maintaining above that upper Bollinger Band, so suggesting that the market has been strongly outperforming to a degree. Looking at volatility, however, there is a possibility that we are seeing a cyclical peak in volatility, so there is potential for volatility to come off. So perhaps suggesting that this breakout that we're seeing at the moment may be false. So one would need to be very careful of taking any signals from the breakout up above the Ichimoku cloud. So once again, follow through in a bullish manner above any breakout above this cloud would be very, very important in the case of Camden Property Trust. And quickly taking a look at a stock in the utility sector here, it's Edison International, code is EIX, and here we see the market trading up above each of the Ichimoku indicators, above the Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen and the Ichimoku cloud, strongly outperforming the overall market for some time, but now moving just back within the Bollinger Band, so suggesting that the outperformance of the S&P 500 may be waning to a large degree. In terms of volatility, here we've seen a cyclical peak in volatility, and following volatility coming off, we've seen some sideways action in this market. Now, the market has tested support here at the Tenkan-sen around the 56.28 level for the past 3 trading days out of the past 4, and that will be very important support for this market moving forward. This market is looking overextended. This stock is looking overextended to a large degree. The Chica span is a fair way above the corresponding price action, and the market is trading a fair way up above the Ichimoku cloud. So it wouldn't surprise to see this stock come off and potentially to find some support around this previous swing high around 54.50, or at the Kijun-sen, which is trading at 53.95. Looking to the weekly chart, and here we see a market that once again is looking overextended, a fair way up above the Ichimoku cloud. Chica span is a fair way above corresponding price action, but a very strongly bullish market. For the last 3 consecutive weeks, and assuming that this week will close in a similar manner, we have very small bodies following these very large white body candles, and that's suggesting that the amount of upside momentum that the market was making previously may be starting to wane, and it wouldn't surprise to see the market congest or to come off. Now, if the market does come off, first area of support after the swing high at around the 54 level would be the area at the Tenkan-sen, which is trading at 53.75. In terms of outperformance, strongly outperforming for quite some time, and looking at volatility, volatility has been very, very strong and is perhaps reaching a cyclical high, and has been well above a previous peak in volatility. Now just looking at the monthly chart, and here, if this market does continue to appreciate, we do have some very solid resistance up around the $60 level and around the $59 level as well. So if we do see continued strong price action up above current levels, then the potential gains in this market from here aren't terribly strong.